Hello friends. Hello, it's Tanya and it is a Tuesday. We are midway through the year, so it is July 15th, 2025, and it's been probably about a month since I've been on here, I think, maybe more, but about a month, I think. Can't go back and look at them on Facebook anymore. I have to go back to my YouTube history, so but yeah, it's definitely been a while. I had some time away with my family, and then last week was getting caught up and from being away. And so I'm like, you know what? I got to get back to this, sharing tips on Tuesday. So, like I said, it's the 15th of July, and I wanted to share a couple of tips and a couple of things that I know I'm not great at, and so I need to highlight and figure out how to make things happen, things I am good at. So I am not going to actually turn my phone down today. I'm really just going to chat with you, and I will hold up a few things to show you, but I'm not going to be turning my camera down. So if you're watching live, please say hi. I like to say hi if I see your comments, or if you're watching a replay, let me know you've watched, and if you enjoy my tip, feel free to share it or let me know you like my tip. So today's tip is about, it's in the memory keeping lane, which is, again, not my strong point. I have never put together a scrapbook for myself. I've done small little memory keeping projects. I've helped others with scrapbooking, but I have never done an entire scrapbook for myself. And so I have decided this is my year to start that journey. And so I've been doing a lot of thinking and figuring out how do I want to go about this. Of course, my kids are now 15 and as of next week 13. So it's not like I'm going to start at the year zero for them. I've been married over 20 years now. I'm not going to start at year zero for that either, or -3, whatever you want to call it. Because we dated several years before we got married, but I'm going to start now, and that's just where I have to start. And if I get backwards and go backwards, I will, but I'm okay with that. So a couple things I wanted to share, and some things I'm trying to do going from this summer forward, do better at, and I wanted to just kind of share a few of those tips with you as I begin this memory keeping, scrapbooking, if you want to call it that, journey. I may not do a traditional scrapbook each time, but I am ready to get into it because I still love taking notes. I love working with paper. I love stamping. I love the idea of scrapbooking. So let me get to where I want to go. So if you've scrapbooked and if you're an avid scrapbooker, I would love to hear about it. I have, like I said, I've not done a complete one myself. I've done pages, I've done some memory keeping projects, but not scrapbooking. So, but I decided this is the year I want to start that in my life. And I think some people, as you get older, you recognize the importance of that legacy and that story that will carry on past you. And hopefully your children and or grandchildren will enjoy that product that you make, that album or project or storybook, however you want to call it. And so that's where I'm at with this. So a couple of things I have recognized. One, I love taking pictures. I take lots of pictures. I mean, lots, excessive. My husband constantly jokes me about the amount of pictures I take. I've had to upgrade my storage in my Google Photos cloud because I have so many pictures, which is my backup. So thank goodness for that. But anyway, so I'm on year 3 of that upgraded payment plan for my Google Photos. But I'm okay with that. So I love taking pictures. And I do like to take short notes. I don't like blogging. I don't like long scripted. I like highlights, bullet points. I'm that kind of person when it comes to remembering things for note taking. So what worked what is going to work for me at this point, and again, this could evolve and change as I get through this process, but I'm going to show you my things, is whenever I am going to take a trip or have an event that I want to document, I'm going to use my handy dandy planner. So I have always been a planner person. I don't necessarily subscribe to any particular planner process or planner brand. I just look for ones that will work for me that year. The other thing is I get my planner with the starting point of July. That way I'm working July through June on a planner, and I know that doesn't coincide very well with like annual taxes or anything like that, but I like the idea of starting my planner in the middle of the year. That way I'm well into using my planner for whatever I need it for. I don't have to start that in January. Like, there's so many things that are new in January, whether it's a resolution or a new project or a new program you're starting or a new group you're starting. I don't want to also have to start a new planner. So like I decided probably 5, 6, maybe something like that years ago, pre-COVID at least, to always get my planner in July. And nowadays you can find planners however you want. You can find them undated and create your own system. But I like buying my planners for July through June. And a lot of them, of course, have months before that to start and kind of get you into the next year. But I typically start mine July through June. Okay, so that's one tip for you, is if you don't use a planner, and some people have gone strictly digital, and I do use my digital calendar, don't get me wrong. My husband and I share that calendar. We know each other, main schedules, our kids' schedules are in there digitally. But this is a place where I can make notes of something, write down things, thoughts, whatever. So I start my planner in July. Next thing I wanted to admit is that I have never kept any kind of diary or journal in my life. I've tried many times, many different ways to do journaling and diary, and I think the most I've done is like 10 days in a row, or 10 days of any kind of period of time. It's just not my thing. Again, I'm not one to do that personally. That works for me. But when it comes to wanting to document the activities so that I can refer back to them to work on memory keeping, scrapbooking type pages, I am going to be using my planner. And so some of you may have seen my post when we were on vacation this past couple weeks ago. We were on a long vacation with our family, and we did multiple things, activities, and I used my planner each day to write down the highlights of the day. So I just jotted down the highlights of the day. I didn't do it every single day. Actually, I did like a couple days, and then I didn't do it for a couple days, and then I regrouped a couple days later and did another section of our journey, and finishing it at home after the journey is over, because it was a road trip, so there was a lot of in and out of hotels and different kinds of situations. So I didn't do it every single night, but I did like 2 or 3 days at a time. And during that process, I referred to, number one, my pictures that I took for that day, and number two, my Google timeline. So I am a big Google fan, and so I do use my Google timeline to track my journey / tasks that I've done if I need to. So that's another tip is use what works for you, but a planner worked perfectly for me because I can jot down the notes of that day. And again, it's not like a whole diary entry. It's just bullet points, the highlights of the day, something funny that happened, a good dessert we had, whatever it is. And that will help me when I go to do my actual scrapbooking and putting those pictures onto pages. That will help me have those thoughts there and not trying to do it 6 months from now or 3 months from now. So I have it written on the days of the actual event. Okay, so that's another tip. So the last tip I have is about pictures. So of course, many of us probably take lots of pictures and don't print them. I'm guilty just like you are. But this is, again, part of my process is to get those pictures off my phone in print, and to be able to share them and create with them, and create something that, again, can live past me. And because this trip was a family trip, of course, my kids were in lots of the pictures. And so I'm hoping it's something that they cherish in the future. But one of the tips I have about picture taking, when you are taking pictures, make sure you take pictures, especially if you're going to do any kind of memory keeping or scrapbooking. Take pictures both in the horizontal and vertical mode. Make sure you alternate back and forth. And sometimes I even make it a point to shoot the picture vertically and then just rotate and take one or two also horizontally. That way, when I go to print them out, I have several choices, and when I go to do the pages, I have different orientations that I can work with to put into my memory keeping project. So those are my tips for the day. So number one, find a system that works for you. For me, it's a planner. I've always been a planner person, but not a full-on journal diary keeper person. So the planner is perfect because I can take the day and write down the highlights. And then my tip on the planner is to maybe consider starting it not January to December, instead doing it a different time period of the year for yourself. And then the picture taking, make sure you're capturing your photos or your items that you want to capture both horizontally and vertically, so that you can make sure you have the pictures you want to keep in your scrapbooking and memory keeping. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.